I guarantee that you are going to know how to have a side hustle slash business that is actually fun by the end of this video. I've started to make money online with this channel, and I've actually loved the process of doing so because I actually have a fun business, and I'm going to teach you exactly how in this video. So the first question that we need to ask is, why do you play video games and, do social media? This doesn't have to be video games, but why do you do these instant gratification time wasting activities instead of working on your business, even though you should be working on this instead? Well, you'd love the money that you'd get from a successful side hustle slash business, but you still barely work on it. It doesn't make sense logically. And the only logical reason is that you don't want the money bad enough, right? That's the only logical conclusion that you can come from this, because you're only working on a side hustle, business, whatever, because you just want the money from it, probably. So if you're not working on it, then you probably don't want the money bad enough. Otherwise, no matter how difficult it would be, you'd find a way to grind on your business so much that you'd actually make good money from it, right? So you'd find some sort of way to work on your business and to make a successful business if you actually wanted the money. But since you're not doing that, then that shows that you don't really want the money that badly. No matter what you tell yourself or what you tell other people, it just shows that you don't really want the money bad enough. And this is why, easy passive income side hustle videos, that's why those get so many views, and that's why people click on these videos so often. I used to click on so many videos just like these, and even now when I see a video like this, it's like the thumbnail is so attractive, I'm like tempted to click on it still, even though I already have a business that is actually making me money. So these thumbnails that are like passive income methods, make $120 per hour, make $100 a day the lazy way, stuff like this, like videos like these with the PayPal notifications and stuff, like that's why these videos, they get millions of views. I didn't include the views for simplicity, because it would clutter up the entire space, but these get millions of views that you could just see for yourself. So since you're watching this, I know that your biggest issue in business is not wanting the money bad enough, right? So that's your biggest issue, and so you're not motivated to actually work on your business and to actually put in the work. So putting in the work is actually your biggest issue in business right now. Just being consistent, putting in as many hours as you can into a single business model, and just getting in the reps, right? Because being able to just put in the reps in your business is so important if you actually want to be successful, right? There's a really valuable quote that applies to this that I've seen recently. I don't exactly know the source, but it's something like, intensity impresses people, but consistency actually leads to success, which it just seems really interesting that people care about intensity and, going all in monk mode more than just being consistent, because that's more important. So here's a really helpful equation that's going to help you with this, just to kind of help you visualize and to see the variables that lead to actually getting results and being successful. Even if it's just getting your first dollar online, you need to know this equation. So it's quantity multiplied by quality multiplied by time equals results, right? So you need these three variables in as high of a quantity as you can. So you want to have good quantity, good quality, and good time. So what I mean by quantity is just putting in the reps and putting in as many hours as you can and as much work as you can into your business. By quality, I mean not lazily working on your business for a couple minutes, 15, 30 minutes at the end of the day, when your eyes are literally starting to shut. Like I used to work on my business when my eyes were literally closing and I was literally falling asleep in the middle of working on my business, and I was barely working on it anyways. And then time is, the total amount of accumulated hours that you're putting into your business, right? So quantity is how much are you putting in each day, and then time is over how long of a period are you actually working on that business. And for time, it's really important that you avoid something called shiny object syndrome, which is where, you see a new side hustle, kind of these videos definitely contribute to this, but it's, you see a new side hustle over here and, you're like, okay, that seems a lot easier. Instead of staying to the path of what I was doing right now to start making money online, I should probably start doing that instead, because that seems a lot easier. And that seems like I can start making money faster with that. So then you switch paths, and then while you're doing that side hustle, then you see a new one, and you just keep going like that, right? It's kind of like you have this kind of path towards your goal, and then here's your target, here's your goal. And then along the way, you're here, and then you see this new side hustle. When you're trying to reach that, you see this new one, and then you see this new one, and it never ends, right? It's a never ending cycle, and it leads to a lot of people quitting their businesses a lot, and they're not going to make any progress at all. And my next video is going to be on this, just because this is so important. And both of these two, quantity and quality, they're going to be fixed if you start playing the game of business. And so instead of playing video games and doing instant gratification activities, you're going to actually be playing the game of business, right? The game of life, I guess. So here's a diagram that's going to help you with this once again. If you keep increasing quantity, quality, and time, you're going to grow this box, this hypothetical box. You're going to grow it bigger and bigger until you start making money online, and then you're going to be able to scale from there, right? So the higher that you have the quantity of these three, so the more quantity that you put into your business, more quality that you put into your business, the quantity and quality of your work, and the time that you put into your business, so over how long a period that you work on your business, that is going to determine how big your box is, right? So this is like 1 unit of each of the 3 metrics, 1 quantity, 1 quality, and 1 time. That's going to lead to a small box. Like those are the 3 metrics of a cube: length, width, and height. So this is like a 1 by 1 by 1 square. And this is where you are right now because you're not really making that much progress. Maybe you have like a 2 by 1 by 1, but a side hustler, so somebody who's making like 2K a month or something like that, just like a decent income online, just like a starting income, and they can obviously scale from there. They have like basically the equivalent of like 10 squares, right? So 10 times the amount that you have. So let's say that they put in a lot of quantity in their business, but not exactly quality or time. Well, they're starting to make some money online. And obviously it's not as easy as, 10 quantity, 1 quality, and 1 time. It's going to be like a mix of them, right? So it's probably something more like, 2 by 2 by 2 or like 2 by 2 by 3. So like they have a little bit higher in each one of these metrics. And that is why they're starting to make money online. So you're going to want to grow this hypothetical box as big as you can by increasing the metrics as much as you can. And the bigger that you have each of these 3, so if you have 10, 10, 10, then that's basically going to be the equivalent of having such a big box that you're a billionaire with how much money that you're making. So hopefully you kind of understand where I'm getting at with this. And before I get into this next section where you're going to have some crazy realizations and you're going to learn stuff that nobody's ever told you, be sure to click the first link in the description down below right now. It is my free Discord server. There's a bunch of valuable stuff in there, all for free, all to help you start making money online. There are lessons from me, there's live calls, there's events, there's a community of people who are just like you, a bunch of stuff in there. Just click the first link in the description right now and I'll see you inside. So you need a purposeful business if you actually want it to be fun. So this is not a fix to a current business model that you're doing. This is a completely new business model. And let me explain, it seems a little bit complicated. I know you probably just want to start making money online, right? You just want your first dollar. You just want a little bit of a side income, and then obviously you can worry about scaling from there. And hopefully you've realized through binging side hustle videos and trying them out that they don't actually get you anywhere, right? There's no way to make dropshipping fun. And that's why nobody has ever had fun setting up a dropshipping store, adding the images, typing out the description, making it color coded and stuff, adding like a gradient, adding like, a sticky text at the top that says like a discount if you buy 3 plus of the item. Like nobody's ever had fun setting up all of that, dealing with the subscriptions, dealing with having stuff being paywalled in like your Shopify store setup. Nobody actually loves doing any of that. It's just such a hassle and it's super annoying. And just binging these side hustle videos and even trying them out, they don't get you anywhere because you're missing both of these, right? So maybe if you stick to it for a long time, then you're going to make some decent progress because of this diagram. But you're not going to stick to it for a long time because you're going to keep being recommended these videos where they tell you some new side hustle, some new thing that's going to get you money even faster. But there's always going to be some new AI side hustle, whatever, TikTok shop. So like this never ends. There's always going to be these videos. So you're going to keep switching business models and you're never going to have a good amount of time in a single business model. So you're just going to end up in this position, which is where you are at right now because you're not making money online. But if you have a purposeful business that you actually care about, then it's going to be fun and it's going to be enjoyable to make progress in it because you actually love the business. It's actually purposeful. You actually care about it. You're actually helping the world in some sort of way. The only way that you're going to make money online is if you provide some sort of value, if you help the world in some sort of way, because money is just the exchange of value, right? So there is bartering. Before money existed, there was like a bartering system, like I give you 3 stacks of hay and you give me like a seashell or something. Since that's kind of an inefficient system and a bad way to work things out, money was invented as kind of like a currency of exchange. And money is just the exchange of value, right? So you need to provide value if you want money. And even for like entertainment content, the value that they're providing is that they're entertaining people, like they're making people's day, they're making people laugh, right? So I suggest that you do what I'm literally doing right now, which is make YouTube videos helping people. So like what I'm doing right now, I'm helping people start making money online. And then you sell a product to help them further towards that goal. And this is the best business model right now for so many reasons, right? So I've been sticking to this business model for a while actually. So you might see on my channel, like it says like only 2 months ago, I had a bunch of videos on this channel that I've privated. And all of those videos are privated now because they just didn't align with the direction that I wanted the channel to go into. But more and more people are actually watching raw, unedited content now, which seems weird, right? Because a lot of people are watching, short form Mr. Beast content, but actually there's a lot of people who want to start improving their lives actually. And a lot of people are seeing the value in these kind of like whiteboard lecture style videos where they just have information being conveyed and there's not any fancy editing or whatever. Like there's just simple editing or maybe even no editing at all. And it's not confusing, right? The path is laid out for you with this business model. You just make content and then you give your audience some sort of solution, right? You just sell them some sort of product that is going to get them to their goal faster, and it's going to solve their problem easier. And Skool, this is kind of a new social media, a new platform. It makes everything super easy to set up, right? So with this platform, you can basically set up everything. You can accept payments through Skool. You can have courses in there if you want to help people through courses. You can set up like a calendar where people can see when your calls are, and it's going to like alert them so that they don't miss the call. It's basically an all-in-one platform to help people with a specific goal. And that's why it's called Skool, right? The whole purpose of it is to help people learn. So ideally, the product that you're going to be selling should be set up through Skool, because Skool is just an all-in-one platform where everything is laid out for you and you don't have to, use 6 different websites and pay for 6 different subscriptions. It's just an awesome platform, and I actually use it myself. And this is why I see small channels like this doing well every single day, because of these 3 reasons, among other things as well. So I literally just went onto my YouTube homepage and I just looked for some channels, and I found this within like a minute, right? So I found just a bunch of channels that you could see. It's just raw, unedited content. It's just people talking to a camera, and this guy, he just has a whiteboard, just talking to a camera. He's literally on a walk. He doesn't even have a tripod. Like, it's just talking to a camera and just giving advice on something that you've learned. You can see all of these channels are doing it, and I literally found this within like a minute once again. And these were just the first couple that immediately popped up onto my YouTube Explore tab. I just opened their channel up and then I screenshotted it. So you're probably thinking, what is the game plan then? So here is the game plan. Step 1 is that you're going to want to identify a group of people that you genuinely care about, because once again, you're going to love your business so much if you genuinely care about the people that you're helping, like if you're genuinely creating a good impact on the world. And then step 2 is to define the biggest common problem that all the people in that field have in common. And then step 3 is to learn about how to solve that problem. And then step 4 is to sell the solution to that problem to your audience, to that group of people that you determined in step 1. And then if you do all of those 4 steps and then you give it some time, if you just let time elapse and you just keep staying consistent, you keep working on it, as I mentioned before, you're going to be rolling in money like that one Breaking Bad scene, right? And you're probably wondering, what are these 4 things? What are these 4 lighter colored things for? What you love, what the world needs, what you're good at, and what can be paid for. Well, if you don't know what Ikigai is, it's basically like the Japanese philosophy. If there's one thing that you love doing that the world needs, that can be paid for and that you're good at, then that should be your career. That should be what you spend your time on. And guess what? And this framework, it literally fits perfectly into Ikigai, because when I was writing down this framework, first of all, here's kind of the lore for this framework. This channel used to be about general self-improvement with the focus on fitness for brown guys and like fat loss for brown guys. And I sold coaching, and I just pitched the fact that I had like coaching in those videos. And I did actually end up getting a sale from coaching with one of my videos. But then I realized that that kind of fitness industry and the videos that I was making, it wasn't really for me. And instead, I wanted to help young men start making money online, because I've seen that that's such a common issue, especially with like teenagers and stuff who try like drop shipping and agency and stuff like that, and it just doesn't work for them. So I actually completely transitioned my channel, and now I help people start making money online. So I wanted to create a framework of what I did. And originally the framework wasn't exactly like this, but then I was reading a book called Ikigai, which was about this concept right here, obviously. And then I realized that my framework almost perfectly fits into this. So then I just changed it a little bit. And now my actionable 4-step framework, which you can take action on right now, right? You could just go through these 4 steps and then just give it some time, and you're going to be making really good money online, and you're going to actually love the process. You can do these actionable steps right now, right? So I've just turned this process that is 1,000 years old. It's about 1,000 years old. I've taken this ancient Japanese philosophy, like this concept, and I've turned it into a modern day, like 4-step framework that works with what's really working right now, like the best business model to do right now. So you have everything laid out for you. This is an insane opportunity. You should definitely like start doing this, because this fits perfectly into Ikigai, and clearly Ikigai works because it's been used for 1,000 years. So hopefully I've kind of like jammed that in your brain enough, and you're actually going to understand. So here's an example. Let's say that you care about young men who want to become entrepreneurs, but they're struggling, and they're kind of under like the hypnosis that, you should be selling these like rubber ducks from AliExpress, and you can just make TikTok ads about it, and then you're going to be making like, $20K a month, and then you can afford a Porsche 911 Turbo S. And they want to help young men who are kind of under this trance, like this hypnosis basically, because that's what it is, but it's not really working for them. And then step 2 is that they can't really find success in a side hustle, so they keep switching business models and things. They have shiny object syndrome, which I mentioned earlier. Step 2 is to define their biggest common problem that this group of people have in common. So they keep switching side hustles and business models, and they're not making any progress. So step 3 is that young men look for the easy dropshipping side hustle, but the best entrepreneurs, such as these guys right here who make really good entrepreneurship videos on YouTube. As you can see, they have a bunch of videos that you can go through, like really good stuff in their videos. Even if you just want to start making money online, you should listen to entrepreneurs who are already at, 1 million a month. Like all three of these guys, I believe, are at $1 million a month or more. So you should definitely listen to them. But these really good entrepreneurs, they said that mindset and doing work that you actually love is so much more important. And so as a result, that person sells one-to-one personalized help. And if you couldn't tell, this is me. This is literally what I'm doing right now. I'm practicing what I preach, right? So I'm not just telling you should start a YouTube channel and you should talk about stuff on a YouTube channel and then sell people a product. I'm literally doing this myself. I'm practicing what I preach. I'm not playing the YouTube game while telling you to do like dropshipping or something. And I can cover this fourth step right here about selling a product and all the other steps in much more detail. But spoiler alert, they're actually really, really simple. And with this business model, you're not going to have insane competition like dropshipping, for example, because your business is your own thing that you actually care about. So you're going to work on it so much more. Even if a bunch of people are doing the exact same thing as you, right? So they're doing the same niche, they're making YouTube videos similar to yours, and they sell a similar product to you, you're going to work so much harder than them because you actually care about your work and they probably don't, or not as much as you at least. And you can see with stuff like dropshipping, like there's so much competition. There's literally 3.5 million people who have seen this 18.5-hour dropshipping course. And there are a bunch of other dropshipping courses. And you can just imagine how many people have seen those. So there's so many people doing the exact same thing as you if you're going to try to do dropshipping. And how can you expect to come out on top if there's another 3.5 million people who are also doing the same thing as you? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Just like logically, the math doesn't work out. You can't have 3.5 million successful dropshipping businesses. So obviously, a lot of these people are going to click off. They're not actually going to start the dropshipping store just because people are lazy and stuff. But you're going to have at least like 10,000 other people that you're going to be competing with who are going to also be doing the same products. Who are also going to be following this exact same tutorial. They're also going to be selling the same products as you. There's just going to be so much competition and you're not going to come out on top unless you have an extreme desire for the money that comes from that business, like propelling you as like motivation, which clearly you don't, which we determined at the beginning of this video. So clearly this doesn't work if you just logically think about it. And you're probably like, okay, but how do I get my product offer, this fourth step right here? How do I get this in front of people? How do I let people know that I have, like, hello, I have a product, you can buy my product? Well, if you haven't realized already, you're just going to want to talk about your topic/niche on a YouTube channel and just post raw, unedited videos like this in order to get traffic, in order to get people to see that you exist. So you could see that over time, you're going to accumulate a bunch of subscribers who actually care about you and they don't care about your editing instead. They're not subscribing because your videos give them dopamine and there's a bunch of edits and stuff. Your videos are just going to be pure value. So these are actually going to be much higher quality subscribers than, let's say, like shorts viewers who are watching like Andrew Tate shorts where like the bottom is like GTA gameplay. So you can see 3.66k subscribers, 2.28k subscribers, 72.8k subscribers, and then 3.15k subscribers and 1.14k subscribers. So you can see that if you just post videos, over time you're going to develop a pretty good audience. And it's pretty obvious that if you have this many subscribers, like 72.8k, or, for example, or even just like 1.14k, it's pretty obvious that since these people are so dedicated to you and they actually like your content, that a lot of them are going to buy your personal help in order to actually reach their goal much faster because they have your personal help, they have your personal attention. And guess what? Instead of having to pay for traffic with advertisements and stuff, instead of having to literally gamble your money with like advertisements, maybe you get some sales, maybe you don't, maybe you just lose a bunch of money, you're actually getting paid to advertise because over time, if you get enough subscribers, you're going to be able to get YouTube AdSense where you literally get paid by YouTube for posting videos, right? You literally get YouTube revenue. YouTube is also going to push out your videos to your target audience for you, right? So like it sounds like I'm sponsored by YouTube or something right now just because of how much I'm pushing this, but it's just because this is such a good business opportunity right now and I just see so much potential in it and I actually want to see you succeed instead of like being so misled and misguided with videos like these. I really keep trashing on videos like these just because they are so bad. They're so useless and they just want your click basically. And so what I mean by YouTube is going to push out your videos to your target audience for you is that their algorithm is going to determine, who likes this video, who doesn't, who's this video for. And instead of having to potentially risk money, the YouTube algorithm is going to determine, who's this video for, who is this video not for. And it's going to find out the specific group of people, like the specific interests, like people who watch this channel are also probably going to be interested in your videos. It just finds out everything for you. And then over time, that's going to And then over time, that's going to lead to the YouTube algorithm really knowing your exact audience. So you're going to get a bunch more views over time. It's just going to compound more and more and more. So just make raw, unedited videos like you've seen over here with these, or just like lightly edited, like with cuts and stuff like this video, where you just give advice to your ideal audience, right? So this first step right here, your ideal audience, the group of people that you generally care about, you're just going to want to give raw, unedited advice and just talk to the camera. And by the way, you're going to get better at talking to the camera over time. It's obviously not something that you're born with, about the issues that they're facing and the solutions that you've learned from step number 3, right? So learning about how to solve that problem, you're going to want to just talk about what you've learned from your research and stuff, and make sure to give good advice, because if you give good advice, your audience is going to want to pay for your personal help, like more and more of your audience. If you give bad advice with like the excuse of, I'm going to give actually good advice in my course, which people are going to have to pay for, then people are not going to pay for your course because they don't like your videos anyways. Your videos are supposed to show like, hi, I'm experienced with this, like I'm pretty good with this, you should probably trust me about this topic. And it's also obviously to get traffic, which is basically people seeing that you exist. And so yeah, thank you for listening to my TED Talk. That's about the entire presentation. Once again, join the Discord server, a bunch of valuable stuff in there. And if the entrepreneur lifestyle is super attractive to you, you'd love to retire your parents and see like their proud faces. You'd love to be able to live in a different country and have time freedom and location freedom, and more importantly, financial freedom, then be sure to click the second link in the description right now. I promise it will change your life. Just check it out right now. And if you check it out for like a minute or two, a couple minutes, and it's not for you, you don't like it, you can always just close off the tab and forget I ever mentioned it. And so yeah, that's about it. I'll see you in the next one.